So, going to give you a little shop tour and see some of the progress of the construction. It's hot as blue blazes, so anything we can do to stay inside in the air conditioning, we're going to do. All right, so here we are at the shop. I'm going to give you a tour and show you what we're working on. So, there are, like everything in my life, there's about 57 million projects that are half completed in there, but I feel good about completing all these, so I kind of want to give you an update on where we're at. Just last week, we got 5 big stacks of locally sourced cypress come out of the Wolf River bottoms just down the road here, and all of this cypress was milled by our friend Daniel Watkins in Grand Junction, and it's going to be what we hang on the walls in the front room and down the hall and in the front of the shop. So you can kind of get an idea of what that's going to look like. It ought to be gorgeous. We've seen it on a couple of the inside of a couple of barns, and really like the way it looks. We're going to do all the trim work with that cypress and fronts of the bars and the counters and stuff like that. So as you can feel, it's a little cooler in here than it was the last time that we did a tour. We have replaced the 1995 model air conditioner with 3 5-ton units, and I have no idea what 5 tons of air conditioning actually means, but mathematically, but I can tell you it's nice and cool in here. It's cool enough that the ductwork up top has been condensating the last few days, which I take to be a real positive sign. So this front room is going to mostly be retail space over here, gun counter, and ammo and stuff like that. It's going to be in that front corner. We're going to have waders, a few boots and stuff up here. On this side it's going to be sort of very lodge-like, if you will. Got a fireplace going in. We've got all kinds of crazy ideas about taxidermy and things that we want to do around that fireplace. Big leather couch and a couple of leather wingback chairs to sit in. But we want this to be a place that when you come visit, you want to sit down and spend a few minutes. And so this winter, on your way to duck hunt, please stop and see us, hang out for a little while. It's a real wood-burning fireplace, so I expect that we'll burn a lot of fires there and spend a lot of time around that fireplace. Just on this side of the fireplace, we're going to have 2 TVs here, 3 TVs there, and then a big L-shaped bar with some round top tables here in front. We want this to be a very comfortable place to hang out and to sit and you know, split up your drive between South Georgia and Arkansas. So this is the front room, and next week they're going to start hanging the cypress in here. We've got everything insulated, got the roof, the ceiling sprayed this week, and it'll get painted next. We're going to paint everything black up top, and then it'll be cypress on all the walls in the front and both sides. Going back this direction, we'll have cypress down the halls, and got 2 bathrooms. One's got a shower, and the reason we have a shower is because I want folks that work here to be able to go hunting and clean up before they have to go back to work. This is the main tuning room. Whoa, that is a lot of drywall dust. And as you can see, we've been fighting drywall dust everywhere this week. Everywhere we turn, everywhere we touch, there's drywall dust. But main tuning room, we'll do a little bit of assembly of pot calls and stuff in here during the spring, but we double drywalled and insulated these walls so that Drake and Aaron and the guys can blow their lungs out in here with the door closed, and I don't have to hear them in my office all the time. We put 4 big windows around this room so that they can see out and see the front door, but also so that when folks come and visit and shop, they can see into this room and see what's going on without necessarily having to have a duck call blown right in their face. So I'm pretty excited about just where the tuning room sits in the overall scheme of the layout and everything. So this is sort of our main hallway. It's going to be where all the offices open to. Down here, the media guys will have their office, and then we'll have a small office on the right-hand side for inventory and things. And then in these 2 rooms, this will be laser engraving, and then this will be, I'm sorry, what?
I was waving at, because my shadow's in there.
Oh, Sorry.
I'm leaving then.
Okay. So this will be the laser engraving room. It's positioned across the hallway from the tuning room, so that calls will come out of the acrylic shop into the laser engraving room, get marked up and laser engraved, and then they'll come over here to get tuned. Media offices down there. On this end of the hallway, watch the extension cord. You would be amazed if you understood how much stuff we're running off of about 3 extension cords right now. We've got a little bit of power. The new panel's not fully complete, but we've got just enough coming off the new panel to run a few things that we need and the lights that we need, but there are extension cords everywhere, so be careful. Conference room. We've got 2 windows looking out of it into the hallway, but this is where we'll have staff meetings and little powwows if we ever manage to talk a buyer into coming to visit. This will be the kitchen and break room. It services those bars. It's going to be a very simple kitchen with really just big sink and countertop, and then probably microwave and coffee maker and stuff like that. No light in here just yet, but this is my office. I guess as long as I keep paying the bills, this is my office anyways. This was a garage door bay, and a little humorous thing here. This was a whole garage door that raised up. There is this beautiful concrete ramp into this building right here. I bought a forklift, but I bought the forklift after we closed this wall in. So we bought this nice forklift. We had no way to get it into the building. To this day, I still don't know how the boys got the forklift into the building. I'm not asking any more questions because I don't really want to know. But the forklift is in the building and is not coming out without cutting a wall or a door out, something. The forklift is here to stay. So coming out of my office, this is kind of going to be Grand Central Station for everything coming and going. This will be where we receive packages and pallets, but it'll also be where we ship every order. So we've got a couple of racks of shelves back here, and it'll stay current based on seasonality of what's hopping. So our direct-to-consumer e-commerce business will be, turkey calls in January, February, March, and April, and then slow May, June, July, but then starting in August and September and October, it'll be largely duck calls. And so the way we set this up is so that turkey calls will be here during the turkey shipping time, and then the duck calls will be on the back wall. And then when the seasonality flops, we'll switch them out. We've got some packing tables that'll be here in front of all the current inventory. And so what'll happen is Sarah will be able to receive orders, print out the labels and the packing slips, put them out here on the packing tables, and she'll be able to pull from the current inventory in order to ship stuff out the door. So UPS will pick up here. And I'm excited about this space for 2 reasons. One is my office is right here, so I'm able to touch, test, see everything that comes out. That means a lot to me because part of one of the things I'm super excited about in kind of taking everything over is being able to be personally involved in every order that goes out the door, and in how it's put together, how it looks, how the tape is laid across the box. Like all those little details, they matter. And I'm fired up about my office being right here where they leave the shop. So we built a staircase here and decked over the top of all the offices so that we've got a lot of storage up there. It's kind of like an attic. It's hot as blue blazes, but it's got a floor, and we'll be able to put a lot of storage up there of just kind of extra supplies and things that we're not using at that time. There's so much about our business that's seasonal that we need a place to be able to store stuff that's a little bit out of the way for 6 months out of the year. So walking back out of the Grand Central Station, now we're back kind of in this main hallway. This is the acrylic shop, and as you can see, Aaron is playing with one of the coolest new toys, which is a big 60-watt laser engraver. In addition to a lot of hurdles that we've had to figure out how to overcome this spring in the move and in construction, one of the biggest ones has been we have not had an operable laser engraver since early in January. That changes today. So Aaron's about to make a mess and tear up a whole bunch of wood and acrylic and glass and slate. And one of the things I love about Aaron the most is he's reading the instructions. If you're in the business of hiring people, hire somebody that's willing to read the instructions. the reason Aaron is doing this and I'm not is because Aaron reads the instructions. So anyway, so laser engraving room will eventually be right there. We're currently using it here because that's our only good outlet. But this will be the acrylic shop. The machines are set up. Haas is going to be here, I guess, next week to do the micro leveling and the final setup. We've got power run to them, and so our hope is that we're within a couple of weeks of having our machines back up and rolling where we're pumping out acrylic duct call parts. So there's a million things to be excited about. That is definitely one of them, and that is definitely one of them. This hallway will have cypress front and on both ends up top, and then on both hallways. We put big windows here because we're really proud of the fact that we're manufacturers. We want kids to be able to see exactly what we're doing in here and in here. These doors will both be largely glass. So I think this will be a cool spot when people come and visit and shop, because they'll be able to actually see the duct calls being made, the entire process, from both machines, both the mill and the lathe and the mill, and then into the laser engraving room, and then right into the tuning room. So, you know, one of the things that we love is we don't just call Shanghai and order stuff and have it show up in a semi-truck trailer. We build everything here, everything that we make, all the wood, all the acrylic stuff, it all happens here. We're widget builders. So coming on back, this is the warehouse. This is the current Grand Central Station that's going to relocate to there. We still kind of have some stuff here. Sarah's still processing orders and getting stuff out the door in this area right now. But with the drywall going up and all the dust, we've had to try to cover as much stuff as we can, and we've slowly started moving stuff into this current Grand Central Station room over there. This will be the wood shop. The wood shop will basically operate just like the acrylic shop. It's its own space. The reason we separate wood from acrylic is because wood makes dust. And in this room, we'll have all of the tabletop mills that make our pots. And we'll have the planer that takes the boards, the rough cut boards, and gets them to the right dimensions before we put them on the tabletop mill. And so all your strikers, striker heads, pots, box calls, all of that will get made right here in this shop. Yeah, and then the rest of this, we really honestly don't know what we're going to do with all the rest of it. I'm hoping that we'll have lots of room in here when we get everything kind of situated and organized and put up, but you know, the longer we operate out of this building, the smaller it starts to feel. I'm so glad that we have all of this square footage in this space because we really needed it. And in January, I didn't understand how much we needed it. So as things come in for this fall and the spring, we've been really grateful for our new warehouse racking and shelving, and been able to get stuff off the floor, and that's definitely helped us create some additional space. But you know, as we learn how much space we really, really needed, it's impressive how much stuff is still yet to come. And so we think we've got enough space, and I feel good about it, but man, there's at least a dozen skids more that have got to show up for the fall orders and for the spring stuff of next year. So anyways, that's kind of a tour, and appreciate you following along. Hope that you'll, in your trips to Arkansas or wherever you're headed, hope you'll take the time to come out of your way and visit us here in Somerville. This is going to be a really cool place, and one that we hope that for many years to come you feel comfortable coming to hang out and see how we do things here. So deuces.